Can y'all hear me? Okay.
If you could put the microphone directly in front of your
Okay.
face. Thank you.
One of my best friends in this world is not a person. He is a dog. I rescued him from a kill shelter, and his time was almost up. I am here to speak for those like him that will not be rescued. Huntsville can set a trend that speaks of the moral values that we all hold dear by becoming the first no-kill community in our state. Many of you who have a beloved pet are already aware of the immeasurable gifts that they bring. The benefits of having a pet extend well beyond companionship. Decades of research have shown we get more exercise, have less stress, and have consistent emotional support. The American Heart Association cites several studies that show owning a pet reduces cardiovascular disease and increases survival for those who have had a heart attack. Without a doubt, there is simply no way to put a price tag on the unconditional love that they bring into our lives. We can, however, put a price tag on the killing and disposal of these precious beings in our city kill shelter, and that price is negative revenue for our city. The unfortunate reality is that every week, animals are destroyed at our city's kill shelter, most of which are healthy, treatable, and adoptable. By turning Huntsville into a no-kill community, this monetary figure becomes positive, and so becomes a win-win situation for the citizens and for the animals. There are hundreds of people in our great city who have rescued an animal from a kill shelter, or have rescued a stray dog or cat with no other place to go. Their actions speak louder than words. Their actions are a public outcry. The killing of these helpless and innocent animals in our city may seem like an easy solution, but it is simply unethical and morally wrong. It is our responsibility to make this change now. It's time for us to quit being complacent with the status quo and bravely step forward into a new way. Together, we can add to Huntsville's recognized assets of Southern hospitality and being one of the premier places in the South to live, work, and raise a family by also becoming recognized as one of the most kind and compassionate cities in our state. And No-Kill Huntsville would be a change we could all be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hamilton, I know you've been working on this issue. Do you have anything to add?
Mr. President, we are actively right now developing a strategy to reduce the euthanasia in our shelter. In fact, I had the opportunity last week to kind of do an update to a number of the groups that ultimately will have to partner with us for us to make progress in that area. I thought it was a pretty productive meeting, and Councilman Olszewski was also able to be there. And so I think we're headed that way. There's a lot of statistics related to how this community has dealt with the animals. It's all headed in the right direction. Part of what we looked at was what's our statistics for the last few years, and to really get even close to the goals that we all share, we've got to reduce the intake at the shelter, and our community's actually made a lot of progress with much more progress to go. But I think we have a pretty good sense of where we stand today. We've got some programs in place that are really contributing to that progress, but we have a long way to go. And so we are actively working those things. And we recognize that it's not going to be the animal shelter that gets there. It's going to be the entire community that gets there. And there's a lot of private organizations that stand ready to partner with us in that process. So I think we're making progress. It's not something you achieve overnight. It's going to be a multi-year process, but I think we're headed in the right direction with the most important thing being there's a lot of work yet to be done to get there.
Thanks, sir.
And Mr. President, I might mention, when I first came into office, one of the worst reports you got was the report that we had 10,000 animals intake and 3,500 adopted out, and the others were euthanized. And we started work on that from day one. We are now down to, I believe our number last year was 6,900 or 7,500 was the intake because of spay and neuter programs and less production of unwanted animals. And we were adopting out about, I believe it was 4,500 animals. We're still not where we want to be, but we're moving towards that, and we're moving quickly. If we just dealt with the city of Huntsville animals, we would probably be there right now, but we deal with the city of Huntsville and Madison County because we are the collection point for all Madison County, and Yep, there's still work to be done, as Mr. Hamilton says, and we're committed to working with those groups. It has to be a partnership to make it successful. It can't be just the city of Huntsville doing it. It has to be a partnership with everybody, so we look forward to working with everybody.
Thank you, Mayor.